to NRCF1 Season 2 Race 4 at Italy for the Division 1 split. I'm here by myself in the commentary box as we're starting full qualifying around the Monza circuit. But it's going to be a very tight session. Lots of people in contention for positions. Probably most noticeably from first list of names I've been given, ABR Connor, and they are Division 1. He is very fast. So I'm not sure we're going to see anybody come out of the pits for the first probably maybe 5 even 10 minutes of the session, as the track will not be warmed up or anything. So don't expect to see some blistering times in Q3, Q1 either, as of course the track does tend to ramp up on the later stages of the qualifying session. With our first bunch of people going out onto the track, including NRC Zyklon, NRC Arctic, and AMS Twiggy. We have a lot of the drivers out coming now for their banker laps in Q1. We're going to follow NRC Zyklon, or Zyklon, not too sure how you pronounce that, as he's starting his first flyer of the session. It was very tricky track here, easy to invalidate as well, so drivers are going to be very careful to hook up their laps. Just before the 100 meter board, down into second gear, small lock up from him. On the edge you have to be turn 3, also known as Curve Grande. Getting down into turns 4 and 5, known as Bella Roger chicane. Safely as you go on the validate with banker up into Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2. Through a scurry now, probably the easiest track to validate. You have to really hook up each bit of it to get the maximum lap time, and he takes that rather nicely. Into the last corner, another semi-difficult one, another middle high-speed corner, parabolica, down into 5th gear, keep on 5th gear to improve any other corner right side of the track as soon as you get short of distance. Already an 800, quite a strong one. That will get beaten by quite a few of the drivers. Will get AMS Blackie going with the 91, and I say Assets lead the 19th lap. So already we've seen some of the times start to flood in now for their main, because some people validating their laps or going into the pits, as we see from TM. Forever, it's not finish this lap, I don't think. Quite a few people still in the pits waiting for that track to just get that little bit better, as we all know it will do. Hope we don't want to leave it too late, so that if they do get in the lap, they have time to work on the pits and do it again. We expect to see maybe a bit of slipstreaming between some of the teams today, as they try and make their teammates feel very, as I can see, a lot of competitive. With ABR 60. First, there's a slight lock up into Della Rosa, which would have lost a bit of time, not too much though. So far, hoping for the provisional, not pole position, but top of Q1. Just one more corner to negotiate. The Alfa Romeo driver. Not the fast lap for him, maybe losing quite a bit in the last sector, but an 18.7 nonetheless for him. I'm sure that'll be fine to get him through. A few people still out, not the lap. That MS Hero, that's 18.77. In ABR boots here. This is in his first flying session. We have a bit of a glitch here, so he's at a purple text. don't think it is. So look at it nonetheless. Well, 18.8 for ABR Boots. Quite a lot of people in the 18s now, in the mid to high 18s showing the track is getting that little bit faster, so you can still see those times go down by a bit more than the end of the session. It's NRC around very nicely. Unfortunately, you don't invalidate or get much wheel spin out of there, else you will a lot of time validation. Now, De La Rocha chicane really tricky for them. Did it right feet. Wasn't the one in a higher gear to keep the minimum apex speed up. Same for those modes, you probably want to speed up. Use all of the exit curve available to maximise momentum throughout the corner. In my opinion, Ascari down into 5th gear, trying to pick up Ascari as you can, as it will gain you momentum. Tidy lap from NRC Arctic. Let's see where this will put him. Puts him P16, so now Mike will go out for another lap to try and get P1. ABR Trixie retires from the session, and his lap will be good enough, so just save yourself any worries there. That lap will be good enough. It probably will be, but we'll have to listen to this until this is shown. The 19 flat 4 sync, at least that might be able to get him through. I think that might do, depending on what the other drivers can do, so it's going to be very close as to whether that will put him through. He has time, doesn't have time I don't think to get back into the garage and go again though, however, so that lap is going to have to be good enough for him if he wants any chance of going through into Q2. but Drive Forever covering the lap. He does definitely need to improve on his lap times if he wants any chance of getting through into Q2. So hopefully he can have a clean lap, take in turns 1 and 2 very, very nicely, short shifting into third, avoid any unnecessary wheel spin. Delaroche very nicely as well, keeping it nicely within track limits. Double sector for Drive Forever, so I think he's definitely going to improve on his lap time here. So it's going to be a case of where will it put him as we come to the last dying moments of Q1, just a minute left in this session to be able for the drivers at risk out on track at the moment. Drive Forever comes round Parabolica to set an 18.4. That puts him top of the standings for Q1. So a bit of a scare at first, but there's a mega second lap in to put him one. There's Jay Hudson goes into the pits and comes into finish that lap. And Renault and MX Phoenix goes P6, so really a good lap from him. The female drivers out there to set a lap time, including Tapator 57, if I'm pronouncing that right. I know if I am, but yeah. Already 2 and a bit tenths up on his fast lap time, going into the Delaroche chicane. They connect very nicely as well. Not many invalidations are we seeing from the drivers, keeping it very nice and clean. It's going to be a big improvement here if he can keep it valid, keep it on the track until V3, into V2 if he can get that done. He's almost 6 tenths up on his flying lap, so he's going to be very near the top of the scoreboard. That at the end of Q1. So that the track evolution is very key around a lot of time later on in the session. Comes round the final corner to set 18.465, going top of the standings for now. So a very respectful lap from him as last person to climb as the Arctic, who has invalidated his lap, so he will not be improving. Going through into Q2. So to top off, to finish off Q1, we have Tapator 57 in the McLaren taking home the top spot in Q1. Drive Forever in the Ferrari in P2. NRT Zyklon, AMS Plaki, ABR Connor, XTM PRZ, AMS Phoenix, ABR Sitzy, ABR Boots, MS Twiggy, AMS Hero, Sync Ducky, NRC Island, JJ Hudson, and NRC Attersley taking home P1 to 15. The people knocked out were Sync, Unleash, NRC Phoenix, NRC Arctic, and Big Abdullah. And as you can see, the field spread is just not much at all, only 8 tenths covering the top 18, so just really showing that we have a very close and compact grid. I feel like there's going to be a massive DRS train happening later on when the race starts. Going into Q2 now, drivers getting through that Q1 phase, and we'll be looking to definitely see some alternate strategies maybe going on. So maybe some people trying to get into Q3 onto the mediums. I don't think that will happen, as again the field spread is just so close. You're showing that we've got such a high quality of driver here in NRC, so I'm not too sure whether people will be able to get through on the alternate strategy, but they can give it a go, I suppose. So I have a few people going out for their first runs in Q2. So you see probably a few people go out on the medium compound of tyre. We have AMS Hero out on the medium compound of tyres, looking to set a banker on them as to get a delta for his soft run, or to maybe try and get through onto the medium compound of tyres. He'll be going out on his flying lap very soon. Otherwise, AMS Phoenix was well on the mediums. AMS Plucky, the first person to set their flying lap on the soft compound of tyres, heading through Paraguay, and now ready to start his lap in the Mercedes. Obviously, a pretty decent position in Q1, so I'm sure he'll be hoping to carry that momentum through into Q2 and possibly Q3 if he can get there. Breaking to pull the 100 meter board down into second gear, a bit of a correction as to not invalidate his lap time going through Curva Grande now, and making sure he's taken the tightest line through this corner to minimise the track distance. Everybody that's watching the stream now, leave your predictions for the race in the chat as well, because I have no idea who will win this. There's so many people, so many fast drivers in this league that it's going to be very hard to call who can win this race. So we have AMS Blackie finishing his quality lap, getting very nice and personal with the track limits there, trying to get as much momentum as he can with a 19.5. So definitely not what he'll be looking for, but only a banker on the soft combat tyres, maybe backing out of that lap, looking to go again, I'm not too sure. So NRC Island goes fastest provisionally with a 19.1, and MS Hero with a 20.2 on the medium compound of tyres, so not a bad lap for him. Maybe going for another run on those mediums to try and improve. So MS Hero 2.5 tenths up on his fastest lap on mediums, getting a very nice toe from the McLaren ahead of him, almost 3 tenths up as he heads through into sector 3, maybe getting a bit of dirty air, but getting some slipstream back. So I'm sure that's not intentional, both going on the lap at a similar time, but Yeah, MS Jaffa saying hello in chat. Hello. Good to have you here and watching. 8 live viewers as of now is what my stream is telling me. So thank you very much for everyone who's watching. Let's see what lap time AMS Hero can do. It is a 19.3, going 7 tenths almost quicker than his lap time. So setting a very, very respectable lap on the medium compound tyres. Will it be enough to get him through into Q3? I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. And obviously a decent lap to do on the medium compound of tyres. Sorry. Drive Forever already going onto the softs and does an 18.5 as a banker. So very nice lap from him. Maybe getting his teammate a bit of slipstream in the Ferrari. So quite a few people into the pits and not making another banker yet. Maybe you're going to go out at the end of the session. Very Panther as during the session. ABR 6Z setting the battle, 6-1 but a bit out of line through Della Rogers, definitely not quite a few people else from the track. You can see probably about 10 people, 13 people else from the track, all going for their second one, so their first one, so they have it already. Maybe I'll Connor out on the medium compound of tyres on his out lap now, so maybe he's hoping to try and get into Q3 on those medium compound of tyres. You can see that already AMS Hero is already dropped down from P2 or P3 down into P6, so he's definitely going to have to go out on the soft compound of tyres, I would assume, as to try and get through into Q3. So we've got ABR Condon now going out on a lap, maybe in a bit of traffic with him, Alpha Tauri ahead of him, but he's not on a lap, getting a very nice slipstream from Sync Ducky, who is currently P5 after doing one lap on the softs, so breaking quite late into turn, having to be a bit more cautious as there will be less grip on those medium compound of tyres. Sending a glitch purple sector as we saw in Q1, which is a good indicator of his true pace, but not a bad sector one considering he's on the mediums. But if understeer, just showing that the grip just isn't quite there, probably having to get used to them after being on the softs for Q1. Yellow flag as someone has been, I think that's AMS, no, not AMS Hero, that's AMS Phoenix, who's now out of the session, looking like he's crashed at Ascari, so that's unfortunate for him. So that brings his qualifying to a grinding halt, and AB O'Connor having to back off his lap after invalidating, but I'm sure he will go again on the medium compound of tyres. He's gone into the pits and will be going out on the softs, I would probably say. So try and be safe and get himself into Q2. NRC Zyklon already down to an 18.1 after one banker. Missed that one on stream, but a very, very nice lap time from him, and he retires instantly, knowing that that will be good enough to get him into Q3. Drive Forever out on tyres again, although I'm not too sure whether he's going to actually finish this lap. Yellow flags, I'm not too sure what that's for, but AMS Plucky about to set another flying lap. Oh, no, he's not. He went in and out on the mediums, but AMS Twiggy is going out on the soft compound of tyres. No, just finished his lap, doing an 18.6. Will that be enough to get him through into Q3? I think it very well might do, so that's a nice lap time from him, all but securing him a place into Q3. Oh, sorry, not sure what happened there, but my mic got muted. Yeah, AMS going into the pits. City out on a lap now. He definitely needs to get a lap in. He wants any chances of getting through into Q3. ABR City going P7, so a very nice lap time from him. We have ABR Connor now starting his lap. He's gone for the medium compound of tyres, so definitely very interesting. Thought he would go out on the softs, but he's gone out on the medium compound of tyres. Obviously the pad sweat, as a lot of the F1 community know him as a very, very fast driver who uses a controller, so yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what he can do. Also 26 flat first sector, a very nice first sector to do on the medium compound of tyres. Taking De La Rocha a bit cautiously, but he needs to just get a lap onto the board. Of course, you can go for another run. You can go for 2 runs in a row on the mediums, as the tyres will not drop off really. Getting a nice slipstream from his teammate, I think. Taking Ascari very, very nicely, just making sure that he gets a nice valid lap time in, as there's a lot of traffic up ahead of people going out on their laps, so he's got to be careful to negotiate that, but it all seems to have cleared out by the time that he has going around the parabolica. A 19.1 maybe O'Connor. Will that be enough, I wanted, to get himself into Q3? It's going to be very, very close, but it's going to be very, very much on the ropes as to whether he'll be able to. Going to go with the stage driver for MS Blackie, who is 2 turns up on his fastest lap time. Even that improvement will just about get him through into Q3 if he can improve just by about half a tenth. So he's really got to get this lap time in as to really insert himself into Q3. Let's see what his split is going through down into sector 3. He's half a second up on his lap time. He's flying on this much grippier surface than what he did his first lap on. So this is going to put him around P8 or P7 once he gets this lap time, providing he keeps it valid and fast. Breaking up the 50 meter down into 4th gear, trying to get that extra rotation. And this, as he comes around the final corner to set at 18.6, putting himself P6 in the session. Next person to cross the line is JJ Hudson, but does not improve, I don't think, by enough. Maybe O'Connor has been knocked out of Q2 now, the mediums, but maybe he's going for a bit of an alternate strategy of starting on the hards. Maybe, I'm not too sure, as everyone else is into the pits or has finished their lap. So that is the end of Q2 now. The NRC Zyklon setting a fastest lap of a 118.1, so a very, very fast lap time for Q2, and I'm sure we're going to see the times tumble in Q3 as people really start to push the car to its limits. You know, I'm going into Q3 on the medium compound of tyres, as I suggested earlier. Maybe it's just not a viable thing to do around here with such a close and rapid grid that we have here. But AB O'Connor, what he does have, he'll be able to start in P11 on the fresh mediums and will be on the alternate strategy. So I'm sure that might work out for him in the long run, sacrificing that start of the race on the slower compound of tyres just to blitz it at the end. So going out for this is the start of Q3 now. Drivers are really going to start to ramp up their times, going to really start to push the car as they know that they've made it through into the last stage of qualifying. So I'm sure we're going to see a lot of low 18s, mid 18s, and maybe even a dip into the 17s, maybe if someone really hooks up a lap, and see the drivers will be able to go for multiple laps instead of just the traditional one lap that has got them through into Q3. 2 or 3 new sets of tyres depending on what tyre selection they chose for the weekend. So I'm sure we're going to see some lights out laps now. We're going to follow ABR Sitzi as he starts his first, followed by the Red Bull of AMS Twiggy. Oh, there we go. I think I'm back. My mic has been disconnected for the last couple of minutes. I'm not too sure. Sorry about that. But Sync Ducky not finishing that lap. I think he's going back into the pits, or maybe going again later. MS Placky 7/1000 down on his lap time, but hopefully he can make up some time in the last sector as to improve and go faster. Really attacking the last corner. Lots of commitment needed around this track. Lots of confidence you have to have in your setup and car. And AMS Placky set at 18.048, gaining lots of time in that last 60, putting him on provisional pole position. So a very quick lap. AMS quickly 3/10 up on his fastest lap time of the session, getting a bit loose through De La Rocha, but keeping up the momentum, but backs off his lap. We have NRT Zyklon going out on his last flying lap of the session now, on his out lap. Drive Forever trying to warm up his tyres as he knows he's really got to try and get some temperature into them for his flying lap. So Drive Forever is going out on his last flying lap. Let's see what he can do. Of course, I expect him to do a very nice lap time, one of the faster drivers in the division. So let's see what lap time he can do. Starting his lap, I'm going to take you for a full lap of Monza commentated. Braking just for the 100 meter board, down into second gear, really hook up the curb on the inside and avoid the sausage curb on the outside of turn 2, flat out, try and get a straight line accelerating, take the tightest line through Curva Grande to minimise the track distance, try and keep it as tight as possible, as you will gain time from doing so. Braking just before the 100 meter board, down into 4th gear for De La Rocha, try and hook up the inside and the outside curb, as it will gain you a lot of time. Make sure to use all the track available for Lesmo 2 to try and keep that minimum apex speed up. Same for Lesmo 2, try and keep it in a higher gear to gain as much as possible, but he invalid. NRC Zyklon around the final corner to set a 18.186. A few imperfections on that lap, but nice one nonetheless. ABR City is not on up. I think that's pretty much going to be it for qualifying, apart from Drive Forever, who has gone again on the slightly worn compound of tyres after invalidating his first lap. Braking at the 50 meter board, really pushing the car, keeping in 5th gear to keep that apex speed up. And let's see what lap time he can do. So that's an 18.38, putting him on the 2nd row of the grid provisionally. MS3 is not a lap, and neither is ABR Boots. So that is going to conclude qualifying for Monza here at Italy. MS Placky takes pole position with an 18 flat, almost getting into the 17s. NRC Zyklon in P2 with an 18.186. APR City Drive Forever take home P3 and 4 respectively on the second row of the grid. Tempers and Sync Duck take home P5 and 6, AMS Twiggy P7, ABR Boots P8, NRC Ireland P9, and NRC Assesley, after not sitting lap, qualifies P10. That was a very close qualifying session. A lot of drivers all in just such close proximity to each other based on their lap times, but it's going to be a very, very close race, I suspect, especially with the likes of ABR Connor on the alternate strategy. So it's going to be very, very interesting to so your qualifying results there. Just not a lot of time separating each position here. You really had to have hooked up your lap time to get the fastest lap possible. Drivers are picking their strategies for the races, adjusting their fuel mix to make any lost setup changes they can within the Parc Ferme regulations. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what will unfold in this race. Of course, the run down into turn 1 is quite a long one, curling down into turns 1 and 2 at almost 200 miles per hour, whilst only being room for 2 abreast going through there. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what the outcome of that will be. Just waiting for the race to start. I'm not too sure what's taking so long. So the formation up is now starting for the Italian Grand Prix. A bit of a delayed start due to some connections. We are now back way. Important to warm up your tires, of course, in the formation, and make sure your brakes and everything are working sufficiently just so you can get the best start. the end of the formation. Now going through Ascari. No one's pinch qualified yet, so we make sure that they keep it all clean. Wonderful making sure that the tyres are nice and all that for the race start. We don't want to overheat them, but we make sure that they have enough temperature. As you can see, NS Flappy really weaving along the straights, trying to get the temperature in there. Yeah, cars are now lining up on the grid, ready to start the Italian Grand Prix. Let's see how this start goes. Hopefully the leaders will get a good start. So I can't see how many lights are going out now. Oh, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights out. And away we go for the start of the Italian Grand Prix. MS Black getting a very nice start, followed by NRC Cyclone. They're about to go very, very too wide into turn 1 and 2. The Red Bull getting a very, very good launch there. Not making a move into turn 1, going very, very deep as to try and not make contact. Bit of contact further down, people going side by side, but no real changes of position. There's a Williams onto the grass, but ABR Connor's made a brilliant start already up into P8 as we have AMS Twiggy, I think, maybe leaving their session. Rather than that's been quite a calm start of the Grand Prix. ABR City getting the position on NRC Cyclone, so a very, very nice start from him. NRC Attisley at the back of the grid after not having the best of starts, but other than that, it's been quite calm. No safety cars or yellow flags. I'm sure we're going to start to see the DRS train happen again now. We have a lot of drivers all within the 1 second region, so it's going to be a massive slipstream fest. AMS Jeffrey in chat saying, come on Twiggy. Yeah, come on Twiggy, let's go. P9 so far. There's a yellow flag as AMS Hero has had a bit of a mare going through the Ascari chicane. I'm going on with AMS Dan, who missed out on qualifying but is in for the race now. He goes, and very nice move down the inside of AMS Phoenix, getting the slipstream on NRC Phoenix as well now, so getting 2 moves done. Moving to the inside of the track, getting himself up into P9 and gets the move done on the Alpha Tauri driver. Looking further up the grid, ABR City is very, very close to the back of AMS Placky. It's going to be a big question on strategy on whether or when the people on the softs pit and how much time they can gain on the medium runners. As you can see, the likes of ABR Connor on the mediums. If he can stay with this front pack on softs, then he's going to have a really good chance of winning this race later on with the better tyres at the end, on the faster tyres at the end. The 2 runners having a bit of a mare start now, having to make a pit stop, so they're in last and second to last place. But look at ABR Connor, he's staying with the front group really, really well, only about 4 seconds off the leaders, so he's doing a fantastic job. As long as he can stay with this group of cars, then he'll be flying for the rest of the race. Seeing Ducky getting very close to the back of ABR Boots now. Will he be able to make a move, or will he just sit behind? I feel like a lot of the drivers will just sit behind, try and save the tyres, save their ERS for the end of the race. And there's a yellow flag as a Williams has been to that is NRC Attisley into the wall. I think that might be the end of his race unless he can get into the pits and get himself sorted out. NRC Ireland and Twiggy getting very close. Will Ireland be able to get the move back done on MS Twiggy? Switches to the inside. About to go side by side. Who to Della Roger? No. Twiggy backs off and lets him have the position. That's another position gained from NRC Ireland, getting a nice start to the race, catching up to the back of ABR Connor. Connor's got to be careful not to get any damage here or else his strategy will be ruined. Of course, full damage, so you really don't want to be making contact with anyone. You can see literally the top 11 all separated by about 4 or 5 seconds. Just there's nothing really in it. You can see they're all just behind each other, all in that DRS of one another, so you can really see that the DRS train is fully in function. And I see Cyclone already with a penalty, which will not help his race, but you can see he's using quite a lot of ERS to stay with ABR Sitzi, who is on about 60, 70, 80%. So the front three has started to maybe pull away a little bit, getting a bit of a gap, but Placky doesn't want to use too much of his overtake. Honestly, he just doesn't want to risk any penalties or any stuff like that. More yellow flags. I'm not too sure what's happened there. AMS Dan getting involved in an incident. I'm not too sure what's happened there. Maybe with AMS Twiggy, who looks like he has not had the best of starts to this race. We're going to stay with the front three now. We're going to see this for a lot of the race, so sorry about this, but this is all going to come down to who's got the best strategy, who can look after their tyres, who has the most ERS to push with. It's really, really close between all these drivers, as you can see. Notice that ABR Connor is now out of the DRS of Sync Duck. He's really got to try and get back into there if he wants to really make his strategy work really, really well. Hopefully the people in front of him can battle so he can be let back into the AMS Phoenix with a 3-second penalty to go along with his miserable start. But we're going to look further back. MS Twiggy and Sync Unleash getting in a bit of a battle here. Sync Unleash on the medium compound of tyres, so we'll be at a bit of a tyre deficit for now, but later on in the race he's going to be very, very fast. Stay on board with these two as they're having quite an intense battle, not in the DRS train, but losing out a bit to them. But AMS Twiggy looking to have just such a lot of grip. He's got to be quite frustrated that he's behind the medium runner, but maybe he'll be able to make a move on Sync Unleash on the main straight. So let's go on board with him now. Still got loads of ERS, about 50% more than Sync Unleash, so showing that his ERS management has been very, very good this race. Will he start to use some? Yes, he does, using overtake up until 8th gear. I'm not sure Sync Unleash is going to fight this too hard, as it will only damage his own race. So awesome that he doesn't try and battle this too much and to not get damage as well. So a nice overtake back on Sync Unleash does AMS Twiggy get, and ABR Connor's right back into this massive DRS train, so doing a fantastic job. But more importantly, AMS Placky's looking to try and get ABR Sitzi out of his DRS, which he's done successfully, using quite a bit of ERS to do so, but gets him out momentarily, but has still got DRS. Try Forever has dropped out of the DRS zone, so we're starting to see the pack start to spread out a little bit as Zyklon goes down the inside of Drive Forever, as ABR Boots gets a time penalty. So the pack beginning to split up a little bit, but the core drivers between P4 and P9 still inside a little DRS train of their own. The top two are now surely going to bolt it for a bit as they're in that clean air, led by AMS Placky, who is looking. And there is a safety car as NRC Phoenix has binned it. This is not good for the medium runner of ABR Connor, as the likes of NRC Ireland will come into the pits, and all the soft runners behind will come into the pits and pit for the hard or medium compound of tyre. It's going to give them a lot of time on their rivals ahead of them, so it's a really good thing that they've been able to come into the pits right now. Maybe a bit unfortunate for the likes of AMS Placky and Sitsi, who are looking to pull away from the pack as they now have been reeled in quite a lot. So that's unfortunate for them, but looking at it now, I think NRC Ireland's going to get a very big undercut on some of the drivers. So the leading driver who is pit is NRC Ireland. Now he is the Haas going through Curva Grande now. The pit lane are probably about 20 seconds around here, I believe it is. So he's going to maybe gain quite a lot of time on that middle pack there, as you can see, including and I'm back. So yeah, AMS Placky, ABR Sitsi, and the rest of the people all going into the pits, going onto the medium compound of tyres. But AMS Placky has been held in the pits. Will this allow Sitsi to jump him in the pits, I wonder? He's being held by a bit. Oh, no, but he's actually not being held and gets ahead of AMS Placky. So the advantage of being later on in the pit lane has really helped him. Has NRC managed to jump many people? He's jumped 2 off. It's getting a very nice pit stop and gaining the most out of the time under the safety car. So Big Abdullah Sink Unleashed and NRC Arctic all choosing not to pit under the safety cars as they were on the medium compound of tyres. Maybe O'Connor's strategy not really working out to the best there, as he will lose quite a lot of time. Things will start to calm down a little bit for these next couple of laps, as there's not much going on in the race, as it will be under safety car conditions. Another lap under the safety car, at least for these drivers. As you can see, the Williams and the Renault of NRC Attersley and AMS Hero both trailing quite behind, but I'm sure their Delta will go sooner rather than later. You can see ABR Connor looking to warm up his medium compound of tyres. Obviously not the ideal moment for a safety car. Maybe he was looking for that closer to lap 14 or 15, but nonetheless he's got to try and make up for that and try and absolutely blitz it on those medium compound of tyres. So safety car will not be in this lap, but instead be out for another lap until lap 10. Will some people choose to pit? Again, for those who might have not pit, I don't think we will see anyone pit, but safety car will be out for another lap. So quite a few of the remaining drivers have put to the safety car, apart from AMS Hero, who was pitted again for a fresh set of hard compound of tyres. Surprised he didn't go for the mediums, was opted for the hard compound. I'm sure safety car will be in this lap and the race will get underway. But a bit of a dry period these last couple of laps, as obviously not much has been going on. The Zyklone from P3 is now down into P15 and he's on the hard compound of tyres. Definitely not the tyres you really want to be on for this track at Monza here, so he definitely doesn't want to be on them for long at all, but maybe had no other option. The safety car is in this lap. You can see ABR Connor now starts to want to put his tyres backing the field up into a smaller pack, waiting for the safety car to come in, waiting to capitalise on this restart. He really needs a good restart if he wants any chance of salvaging points from this race. And he's gone. He gets a very nice jump on Big Abdullah 6 in P2, but a Sync Unleashed has got an absolutely mighty restart. He's going to go side by side. No, he's not. He's going to tuck in behind Big Abdullah and just chill behind him for a couple of laps. But NRC Arctic and Placky going side by side, but Sitsi losing a load of positions, so that's not good for him. But Sitsi losing out on AMS Placky restart, but Arctic is looking to maybe make a move, and the Alfa Romeo driver won't be quite close enough. But Drive Forever's on the inside of them both. Let's see, I was going side by side through Della Roger chicane, with the Ferrari driver getting the move done and up another position. A bit of a quite a chill restart, but things are back to as they were almost before the safety car came out, so not much happening as of yet. Sync Unleashed is going for a move on Big Abdullah. Will he be close enough to make a move into turn 1? Who's going to be the latest of the breakers? It's going to be Big Abdullah for the time being, but Sync Unleashed goes down the inside of turn 2, not quite getting the position done, and maybe losing a bit of his front wing now, I'm not too sure. But Sync Unleashed is going to go again. Going to have to defend from AMS Placky as well, but Attersley also having a bit of a spin there, so unfortunately for him, his race definitely not going or going the way he wanted it to. As we have an audio glitch, sorry about that, there's nothing we can do, but it's been in the game for a long time. DRS has now been enabled after 2 laps of the safety car being out. So now drivers will have the drag reduction system to help them make any moves that they want to make later on. A bit of a double lock-up for Sync Unleashed, but will they be able to get the run on Big Abdullah 6 going into De La Rocha? No, I don't think he will. But Jay Hudson and AMS Twiggy going side by side through the first couple of corners. AMS Twiggy on the medium compound of tyres getting the better run out of the corner compared to JJ Hudson, who is on the hard compound of tyres. So Stan tries to go round the outside, and he does, makes a very nice move on the Ferrari driver and gets himself up into P15. Cyclone down in P13. Those hard compound of tyres really not doing him any favours at the moment, and yeah, definitely not helping him on his quest for points today. Something's happened to AMS Twiggy, and he's out of the session, I think. It's hard to see, but I think he's out of the session. And will that be another safety car, I wonder? Yes, it is! There's another safety car. This is perfect for AB O'Connor, as he'll now be able to go into the pits finally. But you can see some of the other drivers go into the pits. And NRC Zyklon is also DNF'd. No idea what's happened here, but 2 DNFs for the Red Bull drivers, so that's unfortunate for them, but this will definitely help the likes of AB O'Connor, who now can pit for the soft compound of tyres and really make his strategy work. He will drop down a load of positions, probably down into P13 or P12, but nonetheless he'll be able to make up loads and loads of positions. WTF happened, I left for 2 seconds. Well, AMS Twiggy and Zyklon both binning it. AMS Twiggy at Ascari. Unlucky for you, as I know you're a supporter of him. So he bins it, and so did his teammate on the same lap, causing another safety car. As soon as you left, all the commotion happened. So yeah, there's another safety car now. So AB O'Connor is surely gonna want to pit as soon as possible, get onto those soft compound of tyres and make up lots of positions. But a few people with penalties, so that's another thing to watch out for. It's not just going to be who can win on track, is who can be the most disciplined, who can get the most out of the track without invalidating. And AB O'Connor comes into the pit. Same with Big Abdullah and Sync Unleashed, which releases AMS Plucky and Sitzi back into the lead of the race. It could be interesting to see where the likes of AB O'Connor come out after pitting, and whether they will get jumped by some of the other drivers. Both Red Bulls are out. Yeah, I know. Carnage. Absolute carnage. So, not a good day in the office for the Red Bull drivers, but looking good for the Alfa Romeo boys into P2 and P7. So, AB O'Connor's strategy actually working very well, as he's now up to P7 on the freshest and fastest tyres on the track. So the big tyre and pace advantage for AB O'Connor. I'm sure he's going to be able to make the most out of that. He's going to really try and plough through this field. Will it be enough to get him the win, I wonder? Maybe it will be. We'll have to wait and see. Of course, everyone else that's ahead of him has been on their tyres for quite a few laps now. 6 laps for 6 and 7 laps for everyone else that is behind him. So he's going to have 7 lap fresher tyres, and on the softer compound of tyres, he's going to be absolutely flying for this restart, among others who have pit. Safety car is in this lap. Quite a late call, so not giving AMS Platy much time to slow down the pack, so that's quite annoying there. So we're going to go on board with AMS Placky for this restart. Actually no, we're going to go on board with Drive Forever as he's looking to try and get a good restart. And Plucky has gone. He's gone. He's going to try and get the best restart. Sitzy, I don't think it's going to be close enough to get him into turn 1. Not using any overtake, but maybe just has the run on him. Let's see what happens down into turn 1. No moves are being made, but Drive Forever and Sync Unleash making a bit of contact, but making up a few positions did Sync Unleash, I believe. So Sync Unleash up into P5. AB O'Connor down a position, down 2 positions almost, but I'm sure he might be able to make them back, trying to avoid the carnage as best as possible, going very, very slowly through De La Roja. And the Racing Point has maybe given him a bit of wing damage there, I'm not too sure. But MS Dan making a move on Tempest, going down the inside of Lesmo 1, just showing that those fresh softs are working him absolute wonders. ABR Boots gets another 3-second penalty, which will not help him in his quest for points today. Go on board back with ABR Connor as he's just, look at that, he's got such a massive grip advantage. Will he be able to make it? Look out for him. He's going to try and get past as soon as possible. Going to have to use a lot of VRS though, as he's only going to really be able to get past on the straights, and the slipstream effect is not going to help him as much, so making sure that he can get a good exit out of all the important corners and should be able to make some moves. Big up to running out of VRS for that lap, just showing how much that he's pushing. Going to skip on board to Drive Forever using all of his overtake button. Really wants to get past NRC Island. Is he going to brake very late? Is he going to go down the inside of the Haas driver? Yes, he does. Will he get the traction out of the corner? Not quite. Gets under a bit of pressure as JJ Hudson retires from the session. We're going to stay on board with Drive Forever though. Getting under a bit of pressure from Big Abdullah 6. Will he go for a move into De La Roja? He's going to brake later. He's going to brake much later. He's going to go down the inside of De La Roja and gets a very nice move done. Drive Forever with a bit of a switchback, but it will not be enough to get the move back. So Big Abdullah making lots and lots of moves now, obviously gained a lot of positions as the resulting safety car definitely helps him. Yellow flags in sector 1, and that is APR Boots off. Not sure what's happened to him, but unfortunate for him as APR Connor up into 6th place, making up the position that he lost on this restart. Just look at how much grip he's got. He's gaining so much on NRC Island, and Big Abdullah ahead of him. Big Abdullah is also a big winner after the safety car. Let's see who the biggest losers and winners were of this of the start of the race. Big Abdullah up 15 positions. He's made an absolutely mighty restart. And look at this, DRS now enabled. AB O'Connor using a lot of his overtake button. Is he going to be able to make a move on NRC Island? Yes, I think he might be able to if he brakes late enough. I don't think Island's going to fight this too hard, but AB O'Connor goes down the inside of turn 1 and gets a very nice move done as ABR Boots retires from the session. Big Abdullah and Sync Ducky going very, very close side by side through De La Roja. Sync Ducky gives him the corner and just lets him go. He knows there's no point fighting someone who's on the fresh softs, but lets ABR Connor through whilst doing so, losing 2 positions in the space of 1 corner. ABR Connor and Big Abdullah are on an absolute rampage on the alternate strategy now. Could we see these two fight it out for the win later on in the race, or will the tyres start to drop off too much to the point where they won't be able to keep up anymore? MS done with a 3-second penalty. Obviously penalties are something to look out for as well. ABR Connor with no penalties, but ABR Sitzi and Big Abdullah both having penalties of their own to contend with. I'm sure we're going to start to see the gap between 3rd and 2nd come down even more. Big Abdullah used a lot of his overtake, so he's going to come under threat from ABR Connor. Will ABR Connor be able to make a move? He's using a lot of his overtake, got the DRS, slipstream and rich mix all enabled, and gets a move done before the braking zone into turn 1. But Abdullah sends it down the inside, misses braking point completely, and gets a 10-second time penalty for his troubles, having to give back the position that he gained illegally. So, really, really unfortunate stuff from Big Abdullah, who has lost any chances of winning this race. Really, really unfortunate for the driver there, and I'm sure he's going to be absolutely gutted after being in such a good position. So AB O'Connor into the DRS already of AMS Placky and Sitsi, who are battling out for the podium places. So AB O'Connor just biding his time now, just sitting behind the two in front of him, not needing to use any overtakers. It just won't really benefit him in the race at all. So he's just going to chill behind. He's using quite a bit of overtake. He left. Wow. Yeah. So will he be able to make a move onto the Mercedes driver? They're going to go almost 3 wide into turn 1. Big lock up for the Mercedes driver, and AB O'Connor's going to go down the inside of turns 1 and 2. Will he get the traction? Not quite, but he's got the superior grip. He's got lots of overtake as well, same as Placky, so he's going to have to try and use a lot of it to try and stay ahead of AB O'Connor. But AB O'Connor just keeping behind him for the time being. We're kind of still behind these two. The longer he's behind them, the less chance he's going to have of having that tyre advantage. So he's really got to get past these two drivers as soon as possible if he wants any chance of winning this race. The two Sync boys in P4 and P5 doing a very nice job, with NRC Island with his amazing pit stop strategy up into P6. Let's see what happens now between the top 3. AB O'Connor using everything, using loads and loads of his overtake. Try and get past Mercedes driver. Will he be able to make a double overtake on his teammate as well? They're going to go almost 3 wide into turn 1. Will AB O'Connor have to give up the position? Yes, he will, not being able to get the position, but goes for a bit of a switch back, a bit of wheel spin for AMS Placky, and AB O'Connor has had to stay behind for another lap. This is really going to start frustrating him, I'm sure. I'm sure he's not going to be the most happy with this, just losing so much time behind the Mercedes driver, but the Mercedes driver is doing a fantastic job in holding up the Alfa Romeo while staying in DRS of the other. These three sort of running away with it. Sync, Unleashed and Ducky behind aren't really doing much at the moment, so yeah, it's looking good for the front 3. Almost guaranteed a podium before we take into consideration penalties. They've got to keep it up though, try not to get into any deliberations or incidents. MS Placky looking to make a move on Sitsi, and I think he's going to get the move done down into turn 1. Will Sitsi try and get a bit of a switch back? I think he might do. He gets the traction around the outside. He's using a lot of his overtake, but he's got so much more ERS than Placky, but having to go the long way round Curva Grande. He will have the inside line though. However, for De La Rocha, but chooses not to go for the move, stays behind the Mercedes driver for now. Maybe he's going to let his teammate AB O'Connor through on the next straight, I don't know, but we're going to have to see some teamwork from the two of them, whether they're just going to sit behind MS Placky or whether they're going to look to try and make some moves. I think ABR Sitsi, as I said, is going to let his teammate through and let AB O'Connor finally have a proper crack at trying to get Placky. Placky's got no ERS whatsoever. He's got some Christmas tree lights at the rear of his car, and AB O'Connor has got plenty of rear rest. He's going to really be able to use his overtake button now and get past. O'Connor now using a lot of his overtake button, making sure he can get the move done. Will ABR Sitsi be able to? No, he's too far back. AB O'Connor is now being unleashed, and he's now in the lead of this race. He's got lots of overtakes, so will he be able to put this to good use? I think he will be able to. And look at that launch he gets out of that corner, showing that his tyres are still really fresh, 7/10 up after getting the move done through turns 1 and 2, just showing that the softs have so much more grip. He's going to gain so much time through turns 3 to turn 10. He's going to gain a lot of time. Another audio glitch, sorry about that. Let's try fix that. There we go, switching to another player. ABR now in the DRS still. Placky just really trying to hold on to the DRS of Connor, but I'm not too sure how long he's going to be able to stay in that DRS for. You can see losing a lot of time through the corner, show that the softs are just much faster at the moment. The mediums will start to be a bit quicker towards the end though, however, I reckon, but it's going to be a struggle for Placky to stay with ABR Corner, of course, a very fast driver, so it's going to be tough for him. ABR Corner is probably going to use quite a bit of his overtake to try and keep that gap high, but for now there's not much he can do. Looking further behind, NRC Island is right on the back of Sink Ducky, and maybe looking to make a move on the AlphaTauri driver in the next couple of laps. Sink Ducky with another 3-second penalty to add to his time. This is not what he would have liked to have seen, as NRC Island has kept it nice and clean and is going to get that P5 position if he can stay away from penalty troubles himself. Approaching the end of the Grand Prix, this middle and end of the race has really gone quite quickly, but Amos Placky still in the DRS of Connor, looking to try and save as much DRS as possible. His tyres probably going to be about the same pace as ABR Connor's right now, despite how much more worn they may look. So if he can stay with ABR Connor for another couple of laps, save a lot of VRS, like I'm sure he's going to try to, he might be able to make some moves. Same with Sitzi. For now he's sitting behind. Whilst these guys have no penalties, there's no point in him trying to make any moves, as it might just damage his race. Tanasi Attisley retires from the race after crashing at the Della Roger chicane. Wasn't the best of results for him today. Showed some sparks, but unfortunately wasn't enough for him. MS Phoenix up into P7 after that disappointing start, dribbling down into P19 or P20 on lap 1. He's made his way back up into P7, his teammate in P10, so looking to be a double points scoring race for the Renault team, despite having such a poor start, just showing that you can't give up in league racing. If you can just stay in the race, you never know what could happen, just like those two safety cars that came out, and has definitely helped them into more positions. 6 people have retired from this race, all after crashing out, unfortunately for them, just showing that the track is very technically difficult, and just showing that the best of the drivers will be able to get the results they deserve. Also, the most disciplined will get the results as well, as it's so easy to get a penalty around here at the tricky parts. You don't want to push too hard, but then you also want to carry a lot of speed through the important corners, such as Riscari, the 2 Lesmos and Della Roger, all key components to the lap. You've got to be very careful as to not invalidate there. On lap 26 and 27 approaching the last lap, and then AMS Plucky just doesn't look to have much left to give. I don't know whether he's going to be close enough to AB O'Connor. He'll have the slipstream and DRS, but will he be close enough, deploying a lot of his overtake? But AB O'Connor has a loss as well. AB O'Connor's going to bleach all of his ERS now. He's going to start to use it all over here. And Tapator has had a bit of a moment there. And P11, but we're going to stay on board with the front row. Actually, no, we're going to switch to NRC Ireland, who's going to go for a move down the inside of Sync Duck, going side by side through turn 1 and 2, getting their elbows out a bit, and the Haas has gone off there after being squeezed off by Ducky, and now he's under some threats from AMS Phoenix, but using a lot of his overtakes to try and stay ahead. So a bit of a collision between the two drivers there. Unfortunate for the Haas driver to lose out, but it's not out of it completely. AMS Plucky, look at that ERS button, he's got a lot of it. He's going to be able to use it all for the rest of this lap. He's going to really try and make this move stick. Try and get close enough. Will he be able to make a last corner, or is it going through a Sky for the final time? Up into 6th gear, keeping the car nice and stable. AB O'Connor almost getting a penalty there. But look, AMS Plucky using all of his overtake. He's got the slipstream, he's got the ERS, but I don't think it's going to be quite good enough. He's going to have one more opportunity if AB O'Connor makes a mistake. But AB O'Connor has looked to have got the position gone, and he's hold on for the race win. So a very, very nice race from AB O'Connor, taking home P1, AMS Plucky P2, with ABR City P3, capping off your podium finishers. Sync Unleashed and NRC Ireland come home for a very nice P4 and P5. AMS Hero and AMS Phoenix, very nice result for the Renaults considering the size positions, taking home P6 and P8. Drive Forever and Tempest take home the last 2 points paying positions. So that was a very, very interesting race there, with a lot of strategy calls, as I said, needing to have happened there. So that's quite a fun race. We might be doing some interviews, so stick around for that. So that'll be the end of the stream. We won't be having any interviews for today. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. It was a very, very, very exciting race with a few safety cars and stuff in general that was happening. Make sure you join us next week for Mexico, a very tricky circuit. So yeah, make sure you follow and turn on notifications for next week's stream. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next week. Goodbye.